All right, Realtor Wade Perry is with us today for our real estate segment. We're going to talk about HOAs, homeowners associations. Some people love them, some people hate them. Some people won't even buy a house if they're in one.
There are people like that, Gary, and they can be polarizing. And I think the one caveat people need to understand before they rule them out or fall in love with them is that not all HOAs are created the same. And there are things that are generally good about them and things that are generally not so good about them. But there are also things that you have to do before you decide to actually make that purchase.
Yeah, you should do your homework. Talk a little bit about some of the pros and cons.
You bet. On the pros, it's really obvious to some that you get amenities. Some of them have swimming pools, some have tennis courts, some might even have gardens. They have common areas, walkways, etc. And it makes it very nice. Some are even gated. Some in some of your condos and townhouses and high-rises might even have a manned concierge door service. So there are amenities, and that's nice for some people. Another is maintenance. These amenities need to be maintained and upkept, so they will have people that come and do that on a regular basis so that you don't have to. Some of those might be snow removal. It could be lawn cutting. There are places that people like to downsize to that we call lock and walks, where they can lock the door, they can go to Florida, wherever, and it's taken care of for them. So when it comes to amenities and maintenance, those are pros. The third pro is property value. Having things kept up, and when people drive through the neighborhood, having it look clean, tidy, well kept, generally keeps property values up. And the last is oftentimes communities or neighborhoods that have HOAs will have community events. For instance, Easter's on Sunday, so they'll have an Easter egg hunt. Maybe they have a 4th of July celebration with all kinds of what you would call field games and whatnot. Maybe you've got a Halloween segment or even a Santa Claus deal. So a sense of community can be one of the pros as well.
I'm guessing the cons start with the price.
Cons are money. Everything comes with a price in this world. And so when you have somebody that's going to supply you with swimming pools or tennis courts or lawn service, there's a price. And that price could go from, say, $100 a year to sometimes $300, $400, $500 a month. So what somebody really should look at is, what am I getting for those dollars, and are those things important to me? If a swimming pool's not important to you, if a clubhouse isn't important to you, maybe you should pass and look at the next community. The other con is some people might think that Big Brother's watching. Hey, I want to be able to do whatever I want to my house. And that's where we kind of naturally lead into what should people look at when they're considering an HOA. The first is read the rules thoroughly from start to finish. If you really want to have a red door and they say it has to be of a certain color palette, you probably want to move on. The second is you want to review your finances. Make sure that whatever that monthly amount is, that you can budget that in. Also pad it for assessments, because from time to time there might be a big problem. And then the last is I would look at the financials of the HOA and I would find out, hey, how well are we reserved? And the other is, what's the history of assessments? So that's what I would look at before I ever signed a contract, to make sure I was good with it.
Okay, and you got a couple of houses as examples here.
We do, and we have one property that's not in an HOA, and we have one that is. So the first property is not in an HOA, and that's down in Littleton, and this is at 6632 South Buffalo Drive. This is, when you think major cross streets would be Broadway and Arapahoe, just on the west side of Broadway. It's a charming 4-bedroom, 3-bath ranch home, award-winning Littleton schools, situated on a quiet street, just steps from Highline Canal, walking and biking to historic old Littleton, a brand new furnace and air conditioning, all new interior paint, a covered patio, and a large yard with lots of private trees, and this is priced at, I believe, $310,000. I don't think this is going to last long, and it's in great condition. Somebody might want to change a couple little things, but you get to do what you want with it because you don't have an HOA.
Right.
The second property is 7717 South Versailles Street in Aurora. This is a beautiful home, and when you look at the outside, you can just see that the impact of an HOA has been felt here. You've got a spacious 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath with a large loft and a designated office in Saddle Rock. This is a master plan community, so obviously you're going to have services like lawn cutting. The kitchen comes with all stainless steel appliances, including the gas range, newer hardwood floors throughout the living, dining, foyer and kitchen. A Samsung front-load washer and dryer is included. A full unfinished basement. But here's where the HOA comes in. A community that has 2 pools, a clubhouse, tennis courts, and several parks, and it's just across the street from the Target Shopping Center and minutes from Southlands Mall. So a lot of stuff that goes with it.
All right, Wade Perry, I guess you got to do your homework and think about whether or not you want an HOA.
Thank you, Gary.
Okay.